Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to another intense and exciting episode of Empowered Conversations, where I have amazing conversations with extraordinary people who are out doing beautiful things in the world in service to others and all around living their best lives. Guys, and it's just, I love speaking with my guests. This is such an enjoyable hour and a half, 30 minutes, whatever it winds up being. So excited. And guys, I've got an exciting announcement about our Ultimate Quantum Retreat. OMG. Okay, the tickets are now only $295. With what's going on out in the world, we've got the war in Ukraine, we've got these astronomical raising constantly gas prices, and it just seems like, well, I mean, the world is in more of a state, it seems, of turmoil, and it's like collectively, we want to raise the vibration of people, as many people who want to be a part. We know that there are people who want to be a part of our retreat, and cost is an issue. We've had COVID. People are still living in a little bit of a state of fear. And it's like, do I really want to spend $700? I want to go to this retreat. So we came together and we're like, hey, let's lower the price to where more people and will be able to come. We don't want cost to be a factor in someone not being able to attend our retreat. And guys, we're going to have it on Zoom. We're going to have this on Zoom, so you'll be a part of the whole retreat with myself and Grace, who I'm about to bring on, and 12 other incredible, wonderful people. And it's going to be an incredible 3-day event. You join via Zoom, sit in your living room with your laptop or your phone, or you can come and join us in person. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So guys, let me introduce my guest, Grace Edibo. She is frickin' amazing. And like I said, she's one of the speakers at this incredible retreat in Arizona, May 13th through the 15th. Grace Edibo is proudly from Nigeria. She is a trained physicist, life coach, and a businesswoman. After working in the corporate world for 10 years, she decided to go into transformational life coaching and entrepreneurship. Grace is a certified life coach, an NLP practitioner, EFT and CBT certified. Grace is so passionate about transformation, and she has helped so many of her clients achieve their dreams and goals within the last 4 years. As a transformational life coach, she is focused on assisting people to align their beliefs and values, which helps them shift their mindsets and achieve their goals in 3 critical areas of their lives, and we will discuss those 3 critical areas. Grace is the founder of a non-governmental organization called Friends to Lean On, a global foundation and support group that is centered around mental and emotional wellness. Grace is also the CEO of TransYod Products and Services, a company that offers coaching, corporate training, and self-care products. So guys, woohoo! Drum roll, please. Help me in welcoming Grace Edibo. What's up, girl?
Wow. Thank you for having me, Stephanie.
Girl, you are so welcome. Thank you for being here with me today. Like, OMG, I cannot wait to meet you in person. Holy frickin' cow. You are so fabulous.
Thank you so much. I mean, when you were reading out my bio, I'm like, okay. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Oh my God. And happy day after International Women's Day. Oh, ladies first, ladies first. OMG. I know we were talking before I brought you on about when International Women's Day actually became a thing, because I remember it started showing up on my calendar, I guess about 10 years ago. And I'm like, holy cow, that's my freaking birthday. Let's do this. Yeah. And you were sharing with me you know, like how it, like, you know, how it all started. So yeah, share with my
Yeah.
audience. You had some great stuff.
Yes. Like you said, it started really, really about 10 years ago. I mean, we became very conscious of the date about 10 years ago. Maybe it has always been there, but as time went by, people became very big, especially women. Women started to celebrate each other. Women
Mhm.
started to talk. Before we would take the backstage, we don't want to be heard, like really, and with this International Women's Day, celebrating women, the
Mhm.
power that we have, what we are made of, has made it even very popular. So year in, year out, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And to think that you share the same day, oh my God, double celebration. It means you are indeed a powerful, powerful woman. So, yes, I'm honored, and I feel good knowing someone that shares the same date with the day where women all over the world are celebrated. So,
That,
happy birthday again. Happy
thank
birthday.
you. Thank you, Grace. Thank you. Um, that is an honor, like to share that day, and it is an honor to have you here. And like I said before, I am so excited to meet you in person and connect and establish like a real, like, you know, I've met so many people throughout the
Me too.
pandemic, like-minded, like-hearted individuals such as yourself. And, you know, I've recently met two girlfriends, you know, when I was home for the holidays in Pennsylvania. I drove my ass like an hour to, you know, they live like 30 minutes apart. We got together and it was like cultivate a real friendship. You know, I feel like I've got these amazing friendships with these amazing people, but it's like, I want to meet them in person. I want to meet them in person. So,
Yeah. And I find that interesting because in the last 1 year, I mean, I resigned, maybe we'll talk about that much later. But the beautiful thing about this online thing is it's almost like you already know who you're talking to. It's almost like we've met, I love it. And the fact that the world has become a global village, the world has become a room. I'm literally a million miles away thanks to technology, right? And there you are, and the rest of the world, and we're having this very wonderful conversation. It's something that I would forever be grateful for, and the fact that I'm meeting amazing people like yourself, and the people that we're going to be, having this conference together with, this retreat with. I mean, I feel like I know them already. The conversations we've been having, I can go on and on.
girl, I'm telling you right now, I am like, every time you said, you know, about like meeting in person and establish, like, we already know one another. It's waves of cold chills. My whole body is just like on fire with cold chills because you're right. It's like, I feel like I know you. I feel like I know John Corbellini. I feel like I know Christina. And it's like, there's no fear. Like, there wasn't any fear in meeting Edna and Deborah in person. There was no fear. It's like, I already know these women. Like, they're a
Yeah.
freaking amazing. And it was just like, it was like we had known each other all of our lives. And I know that it's going to be that way when I meet all you guys out in Arizona. It's going to be like, oh, we've been friends forever. You know?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I feel that. And the
Yeah.
energy, I mean, it's part of what we're talking about. The energy is so beautiful
Yes.
when you have people that you share the same, you have like-minded people around you. The energy is like this. It goes like this. And that's the beautiful part. And I mean, this retreat is going to make that happen, where people with like minds will converge, and
Hmm.
then we'll share, raising the vibration and taking it from where you are to where you want to be. And, the whole idea is amazing. So I'm super, super excited.
Yeah.
I can literally touch the energy. I can literally feel it right here. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. And that's, the world is in just a desperate need of more positive energy,
Yeah,
you
very
know.
correct.
So, but oh my God, girl. So I get to the heart and the core, the depth of my guest. I want to know my guests why. And my first question is to you is, what all transpired in your life? What situations? What happened? What did you go through? What did you persevere through? What epiphanic moments, if that's epiphanic is a word, epiphany, did you have that brought you to where you were like, I'm doing this. I want to empower the world. I want to help transform the lives of others.
Thank you for that question. And I pray I don't get emotional, but thank you for that question.
I cry.
Where do I start from? Let me take you way back when I wanted to, why I do what I do and why I feel so blessed doing what I do. It started from where I even wanted to study medicine. Let's start from there. And in my head, in my little head, you know, when I was about going to the university, in my head, I felt the only way to help people was to become a doctor. Yeah. So, but it didn't happen because the number of people, long story, it couldn't happen. So I had to go pick another course. But when I started studying the course I was studying, you know, at some point I became frustrated. I wanted out. I hated myself in the university. I became depressed. I just hated myself. But I decided to pull through and then just go through and do it. And when I finished uni, I was pretty young. And then this young man came and said, I love you, Grace. I want to marry you. And I'm like, oh, okay. But guess what? I didn't think of anything. I just jumped at the offer because he was a medical doctor. And then I said, oh, I did not get to be a medical doctor, but I get to, you know, marry one. So I didn't date him. There was no time to date him. I was super excited. And then I jumped into the union.
So you didn't know this man prior to, this is just some random doctor that came out, I want to marry you.
No. Okay. This is me trying to cut the story short. So we went for a wedding. He was someone that I knew back in uni, but I didn't know him seriously. I didn't know him because he was some, you know, random student, my senior. So we met at a mutual friend's wedding, and then he saw me and said, oh, did you finish from this school? I said, yes. He said, yes, you look familiar. And then we kicked off and we started talking. And he just said it that, look, I want to settle down, and right now I want to settle down with you. And I was so excited because I mean, I didn't get to be a doctor, so I'm going to end up marrying a doctor. So I was super excited. No time to know him like in person. We just boom, got into this relationship, and that was it. That was it. I just saw myself in a strange land because I had to go live where he was living. And then I saw someone that I'm like, wait a minute, what were you thinking? Long story short, the marriage did not last. I was a frustrated young girl. I was just 21, and I was a frustrated young girl. I got depressed. I started, you know, a lot of things that I became suicidal. Everything, the story, if I start to tell you the things that I saw, you know, I saw a monster, like I was living with a monster.
Yeah.
The domestic violence, the emotional torture, the mental torture, everything was so, and I was so young that because everything happened so fast, I didn't even have the time to know this person, and life became unbearable for me. And I mean, my folks just came. I mean, he did something. He beat me black and blue one day, and my parents heard. I'm laughing now because it's a long time ago, and I'm in a very fantastic place right now. And you know what that did to me at the time was I knew the decisions I made were decisions I made from a place of confusion, from a place of not knowing, from a place of ignorance, and
Not knowing who you
looking back.
are.
Exactly. I didn't know who I was, and I
Right.
was prepared to go be with someone else. It was impossible. I was when we got there, I got into the marriage, I started thinking that what am I even going to do? I planned to go back, to study medicine, and then but I'm stuck here. What am I going to do? Career-wise, I became stuck. Um, in all areas of my life, I was stuck, confused, and I wanted out. I became suicidal. I was tired of life.
Right.
Now, I, I mean, oh my goodness. Really, I feel this made me a very strong lady. Like every time I talk about this story, I look at myself and I'm like, wow, you've come a long way and you are really amazing. After that, that was a relationship issue. And then I got to a point where I was confused. I didn't go back to do medicine. I was stuck with my physics degree. And even as much as I love sciences, I loved it, but I wanted it in another level, in another place, not as a physicist or as a scientist, because we had this orientation that if you were going to be a scientist, a physicist, you're going to be stuck in a research lab, and then you become a nerd, and then you're researching and researching. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't want to do that, right? And thankfully, I went into a multinational, not doing physics, but
Right.
I got employed because after the stage, the depression stage, thank God for my family, thank God for good friends, and thank God for the support system. I got out of depression. I started to know myself gradually, and then I got a job because I just wanted to do something. So I got a job in a multinational, and 10 years after, within the years where I was doing that, working in the multinational, I watched a TV show and I heard a life coach. He came on and then he was talking about life coaching. And I always say this. I said, who the hell does he think he is calling himself a life coach? Who are you? What do you know about life? And you think you can just call yourself a life coach? Now, I was speaking from an ignorant point of view, never heard of
Right.
the word life coaching, didn't
Right.
know what it meant. And so I just felt that, okay, this dude was just talking nonsense. But what he said made me feel some type of way, because even in the corporate world, I was known for helping people. I was known, call Grace, I like to be that person that wants to help you, because I hate to see, because of what I'd gone through, I just couldn't stand to see someone going through an emotional pain or a mental pain. I just couldn't stand it. So
Yeah.
I just started noticing that I was the one they would call to you're down, you're feeling bad. They'll call me to come talk to this person. I'm like, okay. This feels like medicine, To cut the long story short, I eventually got to the point where I started investigating life coaching. From there, I did EFT and all these things that I had to do. And then the physics. Yes,
I
all of
love it.
that.
I got a funny
And
story about that, but you go ahead.
yes, and guess what? The beautiful thing, and I know I say this all the time, that nothing in life is a waste.
Right.
Nothing.
Absolutely.
Nothing in life is a
Absolutely.
waste. When I got into life coaching, I did all these courses, cognitive behavioral therapy, psychology. I did all these things. And then I discovered the meeting point where physics and life coaching comes together. And I'm like, whoop, whoop. Nothing indeed is a waste. And that has been my joy ever since. I have gone deep into quantum, quantum physics. And I am so excited how life coaching and all these things that I've learned, I cannot find them. Everything is energy. And when you talk about energy, you're talking physics. And then all this put together. I'm like, goodness. All the frequencies, the wavelengths, and all the things that the Planck's theory and all the things that I learned while studying physics, not a waste. I was learning them to use all these tools in the future. And I'm super, super excited. I don't know if I took too long talking about this.
Girl, no. Absolutely not. Please share.
So,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
This opened my eyes to a new life. And the more I help people using all these coaching tools achieve their goals, the more I feel like, yes, I'm actually helping people. You don't have to be a doctor to help people. You can help people where you are. And the tool that I'm using is coaching and all these other things that I've learned. And I'm so, so happy to be doing what I'm doing. So for every time I help people, I feel blessed.
Yes.
I feel good. And I feel that I am working in purpose.
Working in what?
In purpose.
In purpose.
In my
Yes.
purpose.
Yes. So when you talk about everything is energy, I was a biology major and I had physics and organic chemistry. And I'm pretty sure it was my organic chemistry class. I was, looking up at, at the periodic table that was, taped to the wall. And one day I was just, I guess, daydreaming or just, I was like, wow. And I had this epiphanic moment. I'm like, wow, everything that exists, which exists, is only different conglomerations of atoms from that periodic table. Hence, everything is one. Everything is energy. Everything is of itself. We are all, everything is of itself.
Absolutely.
And, and to your, the EFT, I got to, so EFT, it's Emotional Freedom Technique, guys. And it's about tapping certain areas, like meridian, is it meridian points or?
Yes, the meridian points.
Yeah, that elicit, chemical responses of, feel-good transmitters throughout your body. So I discovered EFT through this, was it Natural Awakenings? It's like a local newspaper type magazine here in Charlotte. And there was this grocery store called the Healthy Home Market. And I was dating this guy. Hilarious. He was like Vince Vaughn. Hilarious. Off the hip. He could just Vince Vaughn laugh your ass. You'd be laughing your ass off. So I had him. We were in this grocery store in this room overlooking windows that overlooked the freezer section. And he went with me, reluctantly, he went with me. And we're doing this woman. It's just me, him, and this woman. There was nobody else in the class. And we're doing this tapping and like, and it was, and he had me in stitches, and he was being a gracious participant. He wasn't disrespectful in any way. So we go to meet his family for dinner, and he's telling his dad about the emotional, and his dad starts going, and every time his dad would see me after that, who I adore and love to death, I actually have a blog post written about his dad.
Wow.
He would like, hey, Steph, how you doing? How you doing today?
Yeah.
There is when I speak, there is an echo or some sort of noise. Do you have your phone open or something?
No.
It's coming through my headset. Does anybody else hear when I speak a weird noise?
Nope.
Okay. Then maybe it's just my headset. So anyway, Grace, I love your story. Girl, I love your energy and passion. You have so much. It's such intensity, and you can feel the heart-centered way in which you are translating and communicating your heart. I love it.
Thank you.
Your passion. You're so passionate. So
Yeah.
tell me about, okay, so tell me about CBT. What's CBT certified?
Yes, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay. Yeah, love that. And you know what I
Yes.
love about life coaching versus like traditional therapy is traditional therapy, in a sense, I mean, I know that they use tools and tricks, but I think
Yeah.
with coaching like cognitive behavioral therapy, EFT, it's like there are tools that I know I use with my clients. It's about
Yes.
action oriented. It's action oriented. It's action taken, taking action to create the right mindset and heart set so you are thriving in life. So
Yeah.
you are, intentional and living a life that you feel good, and a lot of that is through the cultivation of self-awareness. Like when your story, when you're talking about, like, you just ask you to marry him, you're like, okay, I'm not going to be a doctor, I'm going to marry a doctor. That was a decision based on a lack of self-awareness and self-love. And yes, she does, Christina. Yes, Christina says you have beautiful energy. And Kathleen says there is a weird reverb. There is a weird when I'm speaking. But weird, yeah. So, but I love your story. It's like, but you didn't stop asking questions. You went through some other trials and tribulations, domestic violence, and it's like, but you see the gift in the decision that you made to marry this man, and all that experience of being married to him brought to you. It doesn't matter what we go through. There's a gift in that experience if you choose to look at it that way, and you can persevere, just the perseverance through the situation, and come out on the other side with a completely different mindset if you choose.
Mindset, yes. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that. If you had asked me this question 10 years ago, I would be angry. Like I wouldn't want to talk about it. But now, going through all the things, all the trainings that I've gone, I mean, if you're out there and you're looking to become a better version of yourself, trust me, you just need to be deliberate about it. And I'm a very curious human being, and I just knew I had to help myself at some point. And the decisions I made from the place of awareness, like you said, was having to spend good money on some of these trainings that I did. Now, I would share what you just said. Nothing is a waste, not even the experiences. Now I see myself handling things like this, and I'm like, oh, that was the lesson. I do trainings on mental resilience, and when I am in the training place and I'm dropping live nuggets and I'm dropping certain things, and I'm like, okay, I didn't read that. I went through it. I know how it feels.
Yes.
I understand pain. I know exactly how it feels. So empathy is natural. So I am grateful. I'm super grateful that I had to go through all those things. I'm like, wow. So sometimes when I see people having things happen for them so easy, and I'm like, okay, maybe this person doesn't have something big to accomplish in life. Like, I mean, I usually say, sometimes this is me, this is my own code, do not run away with it. But like, the experiences you go through is directly proportional to the solution or the problems that you were created to solve.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. We don't realize how much we're manifesting almost unintentionally into our lives, because it's like, I call it, the universe is tapping you on the shoulder. And there are
Yes.
lessons that if you do not, make a different choice or evolve from the experience, you're going to keep repeating the same experiences. Those similar experiences are going to keep coming into your life until you wake up and realize, whoa, there's something in this for me to come out on the other side with a completely different mindset and heart set.
And that's why I'm big on mindset, because once you get it there, that's it. I'm big on, like, tell you a story, a short story. I was massive. One of the things that I suffered was increased weight. When I was going through that phase, I became big. I was so ashamed to even go out. Now, my weight loss journey is an entire episode. We can talk about that for hours on ending. Like, it was something that, wow, I was so ashamed to go out. I was so big, and not that because coming from a very sporty girl to someone that just blew out of, if I was big from the onset, it wouldn't have been bad. I mean, I would have been used to it, but I became unhealthy because I couldn't walk from here to there. I would pant. And I knew something was wrong with me. I just I couldn't do things that I would ordinarily do. I added so much weight. I became sluggish. I became slow. I couldn't move. I'm like, Grace, what's wrong with you? I just couldn't do things, right? And then I told myself, Grace, it's time to shed some weight off. It's time for you to do what you have to do. I had to build the mindset because, again, in Africa, the bigger you are, the more attractive you are. Yes, it's in some cultures we see that once you're big, that's big, bold, and beautiful.
Yes. And it used to be like that in the Roman, maybe not Roman times, don't quote me on that. But I remember, pictures of people who were larger because it was a sign of wealth and help because they had plenty of food. And if you were thin, it was a sign that you weren't in plenty and abundance with food. Are you there? You froze. We are both hardwired into the internet, guys. This has got to be a StreamYard thing. I apologize. Grace, are you there? What is going on? Y'all, technology can be a bitch. Doggone it. Grace, you are still frozen. Doggone it. Can you check your connection? It's got to be a... Are you there, Grace? Here, let me... Oh, no, she's frozen. Oh no, she's out. Guys, Grace, let's see, let me message her to come back on. So this happens from time to time. I apologize, guys, where the guest falls out and then they come back in. Click link and come back in. Okay. Oh, there she is. Fan-freaking-tastic. All right, guys, we're back. We're back. Crisis averted. Okay, so somebody is Sherry Deraney. She's a friend of mine. I hope it's not me. I'm loving this. This is exactly what I needed. You guys are on point with the universe and energy. Yes, thank you. And Kathleen Tyner says the same thing went into the 19th century. The bigger a woman was, it meant affluence and being well provided for. Ergo, we had large dresses with hoop skirts and bustles and corsets to shape.
Yes. Yeah. So it was a thing. And for me, it became hard because at some point, I mean, we grew up with the mentality that the bigger you are, the better. But because I was coming from a slim lady to a bigger lady, it didn't work for me. And apart from that, it was coming from a place of depression. I was unhealthy. I was eating. I was looking for comfort in food. So it was deliberate. I deliberately made myself big. So it was very unhealthy, and it was beginning to affect my health. So I needed to do something.
Right.
So when I started my weight loss journey, it was another interesting thing. No results. I tried. I paid so much money. No results. Mm-hmm. And it got to a point when I discovered that my limiting beliefs, my beliefs were sabotaging my results. And I'm like, oh, there it is. I I had that belief that once I had a belief about being skinny, that once you're skinny, you're sick. Once it was a belief. And once it was a belief that was there somewhere that I had to overcome. And I realized that it was not about, being big or slim. It was about me first. I have to be healthy. I have to, focus on being healthy. I created new beliefs, and then it helped me. And that's why like I said, I'm big on mindset and I'm big on beliefs. And I know how it can sabotage you, from getting the results that you need. So when I was able to handle my beliefs, I created a new belief system. And then my values about health and fitness became my focus. And then my general wellness, boy, did I lose the weight. It was just dropping. I became healthier. I started running, 10 kilometers. I started doing things that I couldn't do. That's a miracle right there, right? And I'm like, right. For you to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve, you have to be deliberate. You have to build the beliefs around it. You have to have values that align with your beliefs, create the mindset that you need, and boom, like I always say, boom, the results will be staring you in your face. And I mean, I can go on and on about mindset reset, something that I had to change for me to see results from my business. I would always say that I'm not a good salesperson. I had to change that mindset.
Exactly. So there may be people on our broadcast that are new to the word or the term limiting beliefs. Dive into that a little bit about what a limiting belief is and how it holds you back from what is possible.
Yes. So we have limiting beliefs and we have empowering beliefs. So I just gave an example. I had a belief around, once you're skinny, you're sick. That's a limiting belief, So I had to change that belief from it should be me being healthy, that being healthy is a good thing, is an empowering belief. So I had to change that. So limiting beliefs could be a belief in your career. You have a career and you're thinking, let me see what a limiting belief can be in a career, a chosen career. Okay, now you've chosen a career and you have a belief that people in this particular career don't get to a particular stage, or they don't become XYZ, or they're not this. Your belief is going to work for you. For as long as you have that belief, somewhere, somehow, that thing, you would not achieve it until you do a belief change. That's an NLP thing. You do a belief change and then you switch it to an empowering belief. Then you start to see results, and all of us are guilty. We all have in different areas. I still, let me be very frank. Should we get real here? Should we get real here?
Get real.
So I always say this, that there are areas that I still have limited beliefs, that I struggle. I really struggle. So what I do is I have a coach, and I go to my coach. I'm like, I need help. I really need this to be changed. I need to change this belief. I grew up with this belief. Let's not even go to the money beliefs that we grew up with. Let's not even go there. Right? Let's not even go there. Yeah. So I would go to my coach and I'm like, I need you to help me achieve this, and how I want it. I know this is what is sabotaging me, right? But I need to build a new belief to help me. I need an empowering belief to help me achieve this goal. So no one is immune to limiting beliefs, but there are limiting beliefs in several areas. So I talk a lot about 3 critical areas that can help you. Someone is saying something. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you were reading out something. Yeah, I can't see. I can see. I cannot see.
To you. Oh, you can't see the comments.
Yes, no, I can't. Yeah. So there are several areas. So I always like to say 3 things, 3 critical areas: your health and fitness, your relationship and family, and your career and business. Those three things are always critical for me. I always try to talk about it. So if you, the relationship part, you have a limiting belief that men cheat. So I had that recently, that men cheat, or this I'm not good enough, or some beliefs around what you see or what you think of yourself, like you're not good enough, I'm not lovable, and then you cannot last in a relationship, you cannot, there's several beliefs around relationship. And then you also have in your health and fitness that you don't have to be a certain kind of, there's several, limiting beliefs are many, depends. And as you're listening to me right now, you can tell, that particular limiting belief that is holding you back, from achieving that thing. In my business, when I first started, I was afraid of rejection. So I had to go through a serious course that if they don't buy, it's not about me. I had to go through that. I'm like, every time I didn't make a sale, I would feel bad and torture myself. And I'm like, I'm not going to sell again. I'm not going to sell. So I had to beat that. If I try to pitch something to you, if I try to sell some of my products to you and you don't buy, I always say that, oh, there's someone else that's going to be interested in this particular product. If you're not in, I just say to myself, and I'm like, okay, I know you're not interested now, but I'm hoping that you'll be interested some other time. So I had to change some of the beliefs that I had around sales and selling my product. So a lot, I can go on and on about belief, and it takes a whole process, because it doesn't just happen like that. It takes a process to build new and empowering beliefs.
You've heard
the questions you ask, yourself, the empowering questions you ask yourself can also help you.
Empowering questions, absolutely. Yes. And limiting, like I know you've heard the term, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't. Either way, correct. You are right. You are correct. Yes. And, like a big limiting belief, or a big area that people carry limiting beliefs, is around money. Okay. Money is energy. Again, part of that conglomeration of atoms from the periodic table, just like anything and everything else. But if you are, saying, oh my God, I wish I had more money. I want to go on vacation. I want to be able to purchase this. I want to be able to have this or this type of lifestyle. And then on the other side, you're going, well, all rich people are assholes. Rich people are greedy. No. Then you are negating what you say.
What you're saying.
Need more in your life, instead of, but say, okay, so yeah, there's some rich people that can be assholes. Well, there's some poor people that are assholes. What would you rather be?
A rich asshole.
No. Would you rather be a good person that's got a lot of money, or a poor person that or a good person that's poor, that is impoverished? So instead of comparing yourself to people, or not comparing yourself, but having the belief that that money is greed and money is evil, and
it's evil.
But yet money is the system in which we trade and exchange for goods and services and all kinds of stuff. So think of people that are good and beautiful and doing wonderful things in the world, like Oprah, Tony Robbins, and they have financial freedom. They possess financial freedom. So think of that and what you could do and can do for others when you have more financial abundance. And one of the best books I've ever read is
The Science of Getting Rich.
Yes! Holy cow, Wallace D. Wattles, y'all. Wallace D. Wattles. And that is that book not about like that subconscious, that mindset. But there are so many of us that, that think, oh, like I'm doing something good out here in the world, I shouldn't charge. No, it's like that is an exchange for the gift and the beauty that you're giving someone. Own it. And they are investing, not paying. They're investing in you, investing in themselves when they are exchanging something that's going to enable you to pay your mortgage, put food on your plate, go on vacation, live a life of thrive. you know.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
the same thing with men are assholes. Men are, but no, no, there's a lot of incredible men that focus on
Men.
men that maybe, because if you keep saying men are assholes, if you keep saying men are dogs, then exactly the universe is going to mirror that experience for you, and you're going to attract more people, you know, men that are acting like assholes and dogs instead of
Mm-hmm.
men that are amazing, that
Yeah,
are going to treat you like the queen that you deserve, and
that
you
you
treat
are.
them like the king that they deserve to be treated. You know, so again, it's mindset, guys. You know, it's like mindset. You know, mindset, heart set. Change your mindset and your heart set.
Absolutely. Love it. I mean, the book, if you've not seen that book, please get it. It's a book that's going to change your mindset, right?
Yes.
Oh, God. That book is
It's over in my
so
sacred space
amazing.
because I was talking to somebody about it the other. It's over in my sacred space, and I don't want to get up and leave and go get it. So, but The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Yes, yes. Kathleen, thank you. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles.
Yes, lovely book. And just if you're thinking about, I mean, the illustration you just gave with Tony Robbins and all that, you need money to help the world. You need money. I mean, look at it. If you don't have money to even get on the internet, how would people hear your voice? If you don't have money to do certain things, how would you be able to help? You know, so for me, it's that book. It's a must read if you've not read it. And one funny thing I realized, there is no end to this learning, and there's no end to getting off this, because we belong to an environment where there's so much negativity that even if you change a particular mindset, it might just something might just pop up from the TV, or you might just be in a place and then you just get to hear. So you should constantly have like a refresher to always, jolt you back to reality and remind you that look, even though you know these things, because we're always acting unconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
The programming, so one has to be deliberate. I had a conversation today, and I was just saying that, because of the society we belong to, you have to be very conscious about the things you take in, and you have to really, really be very, very careful about the people that you bring into your space. And I mean, this retreat was carefully, people coming for the retreat, carefully selected. And the fact that for some of the people there, I've worked with them and I understand the energy. Trust me, I run away from energies that are sapping my own energy. And so it's important. It's another thing that we should always be very, very critical about. We talked a bit about CBT and cognitive behavioral therapy, and that thing is something that has to do with your cognition, your thoughts, your
Subconscious.
feelings. Yes, what you have going on in your head. And it's so, because of the vibration, you can just even sit in a room with someone, and their thoughts is literally affecting you where you are across the room. Like, if what they're thinking is so negative and you don't have that field, you don't have, your field is not strong enough, to hold them, like, hey, where are you going? You just suck everything in. So it's important you are constantly in some level of vibration. You are constantly improving yourself. You are constantly intentionality. That's the word. And at the end of the day, when you find yourself, every day. So this is something I do. I mean, I can go on and on. There's some things that I do, some personal things that I do, to get myself off the negative energy that I've acquired from going to work, meeting people and all that. When I go home, after taking a shower, I sit down and I do a bit of meditation, and I'm like, I raise my vibration and I just sit down there. Sometimes I listen to music that I just suck the good energy, the sound, the frequency that I want. So we have to be deliberate about, because nobody's you cannot, we don't live in isolation. We don't live in isolation. So we have to be deliberate about these things. Intentionality.
Abso-freaking-litely. Have you read the book, The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss?
Hold on, let me write it. Never heard it.
The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss. Okay, so I listened to it on audiobook because he's hilarious, and you can hear his sarcasm like in certain incidences when he's sharing certain stories. Let me tell you how intentional one of the ways I'm very intentional, again, about what I watch and read. Okay, so in the book he talks about stay away from the news. The newspapers, the news, all the news channels, it's all 90% of it is negative. It's not puppies and kittens and, oh, look at what fabulousness happened today. It's all like, and it's like, it's toxic. It's toxic, guys. It's toxic.
Yes.
And when
yes.
So I go to the gym. I work out at 2 gyms. I go to Planet Fitness to do cardio, and then I go to Gold's and do weight training and frickin' my circuit. But anyway, so when I'm at Planet Fitness, when I'm on that elliptical, there are all these TVs. There's like 18 TVs, okay? And for the longest time, Food Network and HGTV, I would always go and get on the elliptical that while I was watching HGTV and Food Network. There were news, but that's further down, whatever. Well, then all of a sudden, those 2 TVs got changed to fucking Fox Network, Fox News. 24/7 Fox News and like CNN, and I'm like, I don't want to watch any of it. It's not just because it's Fox. I mean, I don't like CNN. I'm like, I'm like, when you are, and think about this, guys, when you are huffing and puffing, doing something good for yourself, getting that blood up, getting that heart rate up, the last thing you want to do is infiltrating like everything that's wrong with the fucking world. And I was about to blow a gasket. Because I would say something to the manager and the people that work the front desk, but they couldn't change the TVs because it's some box that's located somewhere. And I'm like, what? But they had put in, requests to the general manager of all the Planet Fitnesses, like we need to change those TVs back to Food Network. Can we do this? Blah, blah, blah. And like this went on for weeks, and I was about to blow a gasket. I wound up reaching out to the corporate headquarters of Planet Fitness, wherever, I can't remember where they're located. It's somewhere out west, I believe. And I'm like, listen. I was on the phone like 3 freaking times, and I have this RoboKiller app on my phone. So the general manager of the Planet Fitnesses in this area was trying to get a hold of me, but my RoboKiller app kept blocking his phone call. And I'm like, they're not doing anything about this. And I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, that's how intentional. I don't want to see negative bullshit. And in the book, he describes, if something big happens, you're gonna know about it. People are gonna, talk about it. People, you don't need to watch the news because, again, it's just toxic.
I absolutely, I agree with you. So you create channels to block. And like you said, I was so happy, when you said you can't be working out and then some bad news flashing in your head.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, I know what's going on in the world. I don't need it to just be constantly inundated with it, y'all. I mean, be intentional with what you watch, what you read, who you surround yourself with, like-minded, like heart-centered people. And yeah.
Yes, we can go on and on and on, talking about this. And then at the end of the day, the goal and the focus is love and light. Yes. Love and light is and you always in our field, what we do is the goal is to express the light that we have inside of us. I got to a point where I stopped complaining about the bad in the world, and then I want to put on my own tiny light, to illuminate. There's so much darkness that we complain every day about. So I always, when given the opportunity to have conversations like this, I always throw it out there. In your space, in your community, where you are, what you do, wherever you are, and you don't have to be a coach to do some of these things. Right, the big question is, how do you light up the space in your environment? Do you come in and they're like, hey, here comes light, something good is going to come out of this? Or do you come and they're like, oh,
Like, oh my God. Like,
you know,
yeah,
yes,
it's like energy vampires, people who are always negative, always complaining. It's like, but anybody, and we've all been there. We've all, where we need to vent. But when somebody, it becomes more than venting, and it's just a constant poor me. Like, I'm sure you've read the book, The Celestine Prophecy.
no.
Oh my God, you would love that. The Celestine Prophecy. I read it back in '98
Prophecy.
when I was having a major life transformation. It's amazing when I opened myself up to what else was possible. How, everywhere I turned, there was there was something that I was to partake in, read, listen to, watch, whatever, that enabled, my mind and my soul was growing and expanding. And that was like right around 1998. And they talk about the dramas. There's the control drama. Somebody who's their drama is to try to control others because they don't feel that, they feel a lack of self-control. There's the poor me, the victim drama. Somebody who's always just whining and complaining. But they get energy from others.
Yeah.
Others like, oh God, that sucks. Oh, so there's an energy they get. So it feeds them. They continue
It feeds
with that
them.
drama. So Celestine Prophecy, another phenomenal book to read, guys. Hey, I have a question here from Sherry. Do you have thoughts on microdoses IV ketamine? I am debating it as we speak for treatment involving my PTSD. I've been in cognitive behavioral therapy, go girl, with my psychoanalysts, but that's it. It's helped along with my meds, but feel I need more treatments, especially with what you said about the news. And I have an extremely large amount of stressors coming at me consistently while raising a 3-year-old son who's adorable and ADHD alone. Stephanie, I know you're kind of on a time limit. No, girl, we ain't on no damn time limit. We ain't going to sit here for 6 hours. But yeah, please, like microdosing, like psilocybin, there's ayahuasca. Like, I'm dying to do ayahuasca.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on microdoses of ketamine and those other,
So the question, so what's the question? I didn't quite catch it.
Sorry. Okay. So do you have thoughts on microdoses of ketamine? Do you know what ketamine is?
Ketamine. No, I don't.
Okay. So I'll speak to this, Danielle. Like psilocybin, like low doses, microdoses of mushrooms, it's like not neurotropics.
If it has to do with drugs, it has to do with drugs. Okay.
Like acid, like psilocybin, acid. There's, have you ever heard of ayahuasca?
Nope.
Okay. They do like ayahuasca retreats, and it's about what happens is when you take these things in a monitored environment where you're being watched, and it peels back layers, and let's just say subconscious layers of block that enable you more access to more of what is possible. And it also helps reprogram, but also elicit different neurochemicals in the brain that can attribute to depression, to this PTSD that you're experiencing. EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing, is another. It's a way of reprogramming the chemicals that are elicited in your brain associated with traumatic events. Have you ever heard of EMDR?
Okay. Yeah. So yes. What I would say to that is CBT, what I do is more about the triggers and the thoughts that accompanies. It is more on is more of a talk therapy. So I am not into the drug thing, right? I'm not more into the drug thing. It's more of the talk therapy. We trace the source. Yes. And then we create, there's a whole lot that goes into it. So I'm going to speak to that part, when she talked about that part. If it's something she's looking, to delve into, to know more about, is all about talk therapy, knowing the triggers and the behavior that comes after some of those things. And then again, I like to run away from, you know, talking about drugs, because I have a thing. I'm taking drugs and all those things would be my last, you know, even for painkillers and everything. That's
Right.
another topic for today. So I'm more about you know, doing the first, you know, there's stages. You know, sometimes when you have a headache, your body might be telling you something, you know, all these things are signals. So I always try to stay in that area. When it comes to cognitive behavioral therapy, let's talk about the triggers. Let's talk about the thoughts going on in your head. Let's trace it. Where is it coming from? Is it coming from you? Is it coming from the news you're listening to? Is it coming from, you know, things around you that you're not able to, you can control to an extent, you know? So this is the area that I major, you know, I'm big on. And then we look at the behaviors surrounding all those things, and then how you build you go back. We do a reversal back to the thought, and there's a whole journey. There's a whole journey when it comes to CBT. So the Hawaii, you know, that thing she just called, I mean, I don't know
ayahuasca.
What it is.
It's
ayahuasca.
A natural herb. It's a natural
it's a herb.
Plant. Well,
it's a plant. Oh, okay.
They have, like, over in South America, they have ayahuasca ceremonies. I'll text you about it. And
is it like can you trace with cannabis? Is it something like cannabis, something like that?
No, cannabis is no, it's like marijuana. Yeah, it's not like that at all. This is a trip. Like you go into a trip, and you know, in this ceremony, I haven't done it, like, but I really want to. It just, like, because I know that there's things that could be blocking me that I'm not even aware of, you know, where it enables me just even fully, like, what more can I possibly have access to that enables me to show up even fuller, that enables me to make even a greater impact, like, in the lives of others. So it's like, you know, we all have trauma. We all have bullshit we've gone through, whether it's ancestral, whether it's many lifetimes ago, or whether it's in this current life. And, you know, and what ayahuasca helps do is peel back anything that is still, you know, lingering within the subconscious mind. I say subconscious, that enables you then to blossom even more. I'll text you, because you'll be like, how do you spell ayahuasca? You know,
is it, I mean, the solution now, is it long-term or in the moment?
No, it's long-term.
Good. I like that.
Yeah. These are new modalities. You know, they were, I guess, like, there's this thing about how the pharmaceutical industry, like, they were using low dose, you know, psilocybin and LSD back in the 60s. And then the drug companies, because they were having dramatic results with people with PTSD and depression, you know, and alleviating that. And then the pharmaceuticals like, oh, you know, that's an uncontrolled substance. And so I don't know what QHHT is, like Christina, if you could explain what QHHT is. So, so EMDR is a form of cognitive behavioral therapy.
EMDR, yeah, sure.
Do you use that with your clients as well?
No, I don't.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, girl, this has been an empowered conversation for sure.
Yes. It's. I mean, I feel empowered. You can see it's 8:03 p.m. here in Nigeria.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, I know.
And I've been working all day. But for some reason, and I get it. It's the energy. You have energy, and you've transferred more energy to me, and I'm not sapping it. I'm not a vampire, but I'm loving the energy, and I'm empowered, and I'm loving the fact that we're having this conversation, and I'm learning. I mean, I'm going to know more about this. I love to learn. If there's anything, I have 2 books I'm going to put in my list. That's the the Celestine prophecy and the 4 hour, I didn't quite catch that. I'll call you or send you a message,
Yes.
you know, to send it to me. And then the ayahuasca, I would look at that and I would understand it. So yeah, I'm learning something new, and I love to learn something new every day. So yes, I'm really
Me too, girl.
empowered. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. I got lost. Like, you're over in Nigeria and you probably have, you know, you got to eat and stuff. So guys, we're gonna end Empowered Conversations for today. Hey, I will provide the link to our retreat. Like I said, we have lowered the price so it's more available to more people. We want as many people who want to be a part of our retreat, who want to come, and we don't want cost to be an issue that inhibits you from coming and taking part or being on the Zoom and experiencing, guys. So you stay right here. I'm just going to say bye to everybody.
Sorry, before we go, I just wanted to be sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure that we answered her, the lady that talked about her, if we answered her question. I just wanted to be sure we did.
Danielle, did we answer your question? She posted a lot of comments, but I didn't want to read them because I wanted to hear what you were, you know.
Okay, all right. Okay,
yeah,
good.
She says Aya. Oh, okay. I think she's trying to type ayahuasca. I think she's trying to type ayahuasca. Girl, Danielle, did we answer your question about ketamine? YouTube answered my question, and then so thank you so much, ayahuasca. Girl, I'll put it. I can't put it in the chat because it goes to YouTube, but I'll put it in the comments when I get off of the live. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of Empowered Conversations. We'll talk soon. See you next week. Whoop, whoop, whoop.